Welcome back to the channel where today's daily challenge is honk your horn in any Honda. That was super easy. I had an update for my streaming software, my recording software, so uh yeah, I had issues with that. So I've already done that, but what I wanted to do today was take the time to show you guys how I tune my vehicles. So, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take the second reward card that I just got, and I had an idea. I'm going to turn it into a capable road racer. Now we're going to be tuning it for apex racing, which is road, circuit, hot lapping, that sort of thing. So we want to prioritize grip and handling, and we want to have as much power as we can afford while having those things. Maybe a little brake if we can see, but it's kind of a mix. So we'll get into that. First things first, you want to go to upgrades and tuning, and this auto upgrade, I've never used it, but if you go in there, you can pick it's a really easy way to just shoot for a certain level if you want to go racing. Also, you could go over here to fine tuning setups, which I do from time to time. You can search, you can change it to the class you want. I have A there, and there you go. All these are maximized to A800, and in the middle, you'll see that circle. The inner polygon is what you're currently at. So mine is stock. That's why it's so small. But if you've modified yours and you come in here and you see that there's a better tune you want to try, you can save your configuration, or you can just download this and install this. But the bigger portion is what you're going to be going to, and that is also reflected on the right. You'll see your previous, which is your current, and then what it's going to be going to for speed, 0 to 60, power, all that stuff. And then down below, you can compare what suspension you have currently to what they chose to use. And sometimes the tire compound they have as like a drag race, or they'll have stock. It's weird, but that's one of the ways you can kind of cheat the system a little bit and, get the class that you want. We'll get into it. So the first thing I do when I'm looking at this car is already all-wheel drive, which is a plus if there are cars that are rear-wheel drive. I even try to give them all-wheel drive so I can have traction, because I don't run traction control, and the rear-wheel drive cars, especially against the Drivatars or the other people out there, are very hard to use unless you're like at a very high level at like the Hot Wheels. Sometimes, since those tracks are so long and you can get so much speed, you can sacrifice traction for top end, but that's neither here nor there. Let's get into the conversion here. You can convert it to front-wheel drive, I think. No, just rear-wheel drive on that one. So you already have all-wheel drive, or you can choose rear-wheel drive. I would imagine that's only for drifting. But here, we're going to go into the engine swaps. So we have the stock one, 217, which really isn't that bad. 199 torque. You're not going to find that in just a basic Subaru. This is a Legacy RS, so it does have a decent engine. Already from stock, it's under 3,000 pounds. It is a close to 50-50 weight distribution for handling. And once you hit Y and you can see these particulars, you can move through the engine swaps and see what you want to use. All right, so we're going to go to the first one here, and it looks like it changes nothing but power and torque, which is great. And that's a candidate for us to use today. This really kind of throws me out. This is almost like fantasy world here, putting a 6.2 into this type of a car, especially keeping it all-wheel drive. That's a fantasy build. You're not going to have that. That's almost like a one-off, you know what I mean? Now, this is something I was interested in for our dealings today, a 2.0 Turbo Rally. Then we also have the 4.0 Flat 6. This still keeps us under 3,000 pounds, but we have high horsepower. So I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna try it out. Now I'm gonna leave it in its stock form. You can also modify it, but we'll just leave it there for now. And let's go through what we need. Now we're road racing, okay? So there is just a different look. I think it's a model year difference. It says street front bumper. If you like that one, prefer that one, you can use it, but there is no performance advantage here. This one, same thing. These are just some styling things. Now when you move to the Forza adjustable one, it does give you more downforce and things like that. You can see at the bottom what it has changed. We're going to take that, but you can also adjust it when we go to the custom tuning later on. So we have the stock rear wing, street. What is that? Oh, there's like hood. They're like trunk pins. That's weird. We can use this, or we can have nothing. I think here's the reason I like to run the wing. Look at how much it goes down as far as points go. So I think I'm going to go ahead and throw that on. We want downforce. We want that kind of stuff. That's just mud flaps, and I don't think that's what we're going for today. And then we have a lot of hood packages here. You can have the pins. And for some reason, it adds 18 pounds everywhere you look. So as far as weight goes, I'm not going to do any of those. Let's move on to tire compound. Now, usually you can't pick, if you have high horsepower, you can't pick, especially these. You know, you might be able to get one of these, especially with all-wheel drive. Rally is also good because it has plus 0.37 as far as grip. These are plus 0.47. I never use these because sometimes you're in a race where it's raining, and I would at least like to have these in the rain. So these all three are the same, just different looks. Then you have your drift tires, and of course, off-road, snow, and drag. I only use the drag for drag racing, which is not very often. So sometimes if you want to use these, the next level down is not necessarily this. It's the rally. They have greater grip. It's good to go with all-wheel drive. And if you go off track, you still have good traction. We're going to be trying to park this on A800. So I'm going to grab those tires for now. Let's go ahead and get some nice. I'm going to get the Advans. Those are 16 pounds, 24. I try to get the lightest wheels I can. 16, 32. Ooh, those are 32. Okay, we'll put those on. They look good as well. I think I'm going to keep the stock paint today. Just let it be a little bit bland. So we're going to increase the track width for better handling in the front and the rear. We got the wheels. Now, I usually don't make these higher. This will give you a stiffer sidewall and better handling up to a point. When you see these numbers, like right here would probably be optimal maybe to put this thing on 17s. But I think for now, I'm just going to leave it where it's at. Also, sometimes you can play with this back wheel size, and you can reduce your number if you need to. If you're just over and you want to get in that next class, that's one of the things you can do. Now, we have the higher tire compound. I'm not going to further exacerbate the situation by widening these tires yet. It would be great if we could, but I'll leave that for later on. The next important thing is suspension. Now, easy. When you're doing this road racing type of stuff, it's race. Now, if you want to do an off-road or kind of an all-around build or even a drag racing build, I really like the rally suspension because of its soft rear shock level, and it really likes to squat and it helps to take off. If you just want to drive anywhere in Forza, if you want to leave the road and just not use the roads and just drive in a straight line, I highly suggest rally suspension for that. I always get these no matter what. I don't know why, but I do. We're going to get those. I usually forego the roll cage because it is added weight. Now, if you really need some more rigidity, which I don't think you can really feel in this game. Now, this you can play with as well. It's not as important as power. Okay? The whole thing in this game with these class levels is balance. You don't want the best tire you can get with a low horsepower car. You don't want the most power you can get and no traction. You know what I mean? You don't want to get the lightest car you can get and sacrifice power, because I've done it before and it doesn't work. The more middle of the road kind of things you can get, they'll add up to be greater than, swinging for the high stuff on here. Like if you had these and like brakes and suspension and nothing else, you're probably going to get left on the straightaways. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. So we're going to come back to this as well. I want to visit the power store here. Let's see what we can get. Now, cams, why do we lose? Wow, look at how much mid-range you lose. Well, that's crazy. Let's see if that's the case here. It's not the case here. Let's raise compression. Let's also check into that. And I want to see if I can get a big monster turbo. Oh, I love it. Look at that. That's so weird. To increase my horsepower, I am not going to give up. I'm not going to do that with those games. I'm going to get the Lighten flywheel for fun. Now we're going to go here. Since we have big horsepower, we need the clutch. We already have all-wheel drive, but since we didn't swap to it, we have a choice of a street or a sport or a race transmission. This will be basically the stock transmission, but a little bit better. Another step, you can unlock, you can tune your final drive, and then this one is full tuning, 6-speed, 7-speed, 8-speed, and so on. Also, if you're building a drift machine, there are drift tires available. There's the drift transmission, there's a drift diff, and drift suspension. So if you have all those things and a little bit of power, any car will drift. Sometimes the 4-speed is good too for drag racing or just, whatever. But in this one, I think I'm going to get 7 speeds because sometimes you just need that next gear. Even in like the Ford Focus, the Hoonigan cars, the Gymkhana cars, if they have 6 speeds, they will always be beaten by the one with 7. They just run out of gear. Here, we are going to do race diff, of course. Like I said, there's the rally, there's the drift. But we're going to do race because of what we're trying to do today. Now, let's go back and look here. Let's see if we can get some brakes. Now, that's going to take us full weight to $7.99. Let's see if we can shave some of this weight. See, now we're up into S1. At the low level, we don't want to be at S1 unless we can really take a swing at it and hit up around the 900. We already threw the wing on, so that's going to help us out. But I think here I'm just going to take this. Try to take this. Okay. What else was I doing? Let's go back to tires, and I believe I can get a heavier back tire. There we go. So there's $7.98. That'll help us with handling, but it decreases that number for some reason. 802. Is there anywhere I can get... See, that takes it up. Where can I drop 2 at? I might be able to drop it with the flywheel. Nope. Keep the flywheel. Wow. That's not even going away. Yeah, it is what it is, huh? 802. Alright, so we're not going to get that. That's fine. But we're going to bring it in. 798. Let's see if we can change this front tire width. 800. There we go. We're going to be rocking 215, 55, 15s up front, and 255, 50, 15s in the rear. I really like this. This has turned out to be a neat little car. Now, I'm going to go run it. Now, I've never run a turbo rally engine in like Apex racing. Now, right before you get into your racing, I should have done it already, but there's another opportunity to do it, so I'm going to do it now. Okay, that stock engine is dual overhead cam, 16 valve, and turbo in the Legacy RS. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to use this time here before we jump in to do some custom tuning. So you go to tune car and you have everything available to you. Now here you can change your tire pressure. For road racing, I recommend, a little bit higher of a pressure, a little bit stiffer. I think what they give you, I usually keep. Now if you want to run a drag racing setup, you'll obviously want to lower your tire pressures for maximum contact. This is probably the most important part, the gearing here. I always make sure I maximize this. So on your final drive, you can usually change that and that alone, unless you have a situation where your gears don't look like they're on a nice curve or whatever. So what we're going to do, looking at the top speed, 168.9, that's pretty good, but I think we can take this number. As you can see at the top, we have speed and then acceleration. So if you move it farther this way, you're going to get more speed. 168.9, and we're at 3.78. So let's move it to the right and let's stop. So that's up to you how far you want to take it. I like to take it as far as I can before it really starts dropping off. Now there we've gained a good bit of acceleration and not really sacrifice much top speed. Let's do 456 gears and leave everything else the same. Like I said, this is one of the reasons why you want a 7 speed or more. I think at this power level 7 is fine. I don't usually change any of this stuff. That is where, like, if you pick a drift suspension or a rally, all that stuff's gonna kind of be preset for you. Unless you're really good, I wouldn't fool with it. Now, if you want your car to be lower here, as far as looks, I don't think all the way low is key for road racing. But if you're building a car and you just want to make it look awesome, there you go. This stuff I also don't fool with. It tells you on the right, but it's even confusing to me. So usually, like I said, I stick with the presets. You know, if I want to do jumps, if I want to launch, that is the rally suspension. Everything else is either drift or race. Here's where you can adjust your downforce if it's available to you, if you bought the front lip or the Forza wing. So you can, say you want to get more speed, you can move these to the left, more downforce and better handling to the right. I don't have the full brake thing, so I can't change this, which I never usually do. And like I said here, same thing. Whatever diff you get, these are going to come preset for what you've already picked. So if you want to change them, cool. I usually don't. The only things I change, sometimes the ride height, sometimes the tire pressure, but usually I will change the gearing to make sure it's good. This was actually pretty good. Some of them are bad, but let's get into it. Let's race this race and see if we can win. Now I have my difficulty set to highly skilled. I couldn't remember. Alright, so here we go. A800, 3 laps. They always jump out way ahead of you here, but since we have good tires, decent brakes, a little bit of power. Now I have this turbo rally. Now we're starting to put it on. I'm gonna try to fall in line here and not run into anybody. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Evo. I'm gonna pass him on the outside. Nope. I'm gonna brake. What I like about this car is I feel like it handles quite well here at a track like this. Sometimes you'll get a sprint race. Now we're not killing these guys, but I think this is pretty good. Sometimes you can go back to the drawing board and try and change things and maybe end up a little better, but I think this thing is capable. I went into that way too hot. Also, if your tires and suspension and all-wheel drive is a little tight, if you want to be able to rotate, just tap that e-brake and it'll step out a little bit. There we go. First place. Let's see if we can walk away with it. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Now, funny thing is, I bet you, if I went in and just changed the race stuff to rally, this would still be a really good car. Back in the day, let me tell you, back in the day, Gran Turismo 2, I loved getting the rally cars and just putting slicks on them and taking them to road courses. It was fun. It was amazing. They were good. It was weird. Yeah, I think we could do that with this. It's geared well. Just change those couple things. In fact, let's do that. Let's see how that works. Change diff, suspension, tires. I think that's it. I'll put those share codes in the description. so you guys can check these out. I just wanted to use the Turbo Rally for a road race. I thought that'd be fun. There it is. I wouldn't say it was easy, but we got it done. But those same principles you can apply to any build and you'll be successful. It is sometimes hard to take these cars up to that higher level if they're so far down to start. Alright, so here we go. Upgrades and tuning, custom upgrade. Now I've already saved this and we have the tune loaded up there. Let's go down to rally tires. That takes us back to 780, which is awesome. I already have the widest tires there. Let's get wide tires here, 788. Okay. Rally suspension. Takes it back a little bit, and then we can get this one. We can't get that one, but we can get that there. So now we need rally diff. Okay. In this one, yes. We can't get rid of this front one. Let's run. Which one looks best? I like this one. Let's run that one. And we'll run the mud flaps just for something a little different. Doesn't change much. Makes some numbers red, but doesn't change them, which is weird. Is there anything else we're missing here? There we go. So we can get even better brakes. Let's go try this now. I don't think we really got to see the speed last time. So let's look for a dirt race. Right here's a good one. Let's go race. Will this turn out any different than the road race? Nice launch. We're pulling up on that Evo. He is slow. Alright, here we go. So starting out on the asphalt. Doing quite well. Catching up to the lead pack quickly with this turbo rally. Getting on the brakes. Okay, Audi. What's up? Nice overcrest there. Coming up on a 22B. Nice. Now, how is this Gallant VR4 the first reward car of this festival playlist? I say, how are they ahead of me? This thing is highly modified. Alright, what's that? A Peugeot? Who cares? Smashing that dude. Apparently this thing is way more capable in the rally races. I don't know why. Same performance level. This thing is gone. I really like this. Big turn. Forgot about that one. Jump. He's close, but he's not right there. Nice turn. That was a good turn. It says we can keep it pretty much wide open through there. And we did. Not so much here. Let off a little bit. I like this course. The Desierto Trail. And across the line. A little banged up, a little worse for wear, a little dirty. But we still got our wing. That's rare. But there you go. There's 2 first place finishes in the different disciplines. Now that it's raining, you see what I mean. Look at that back wiper going crazy. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching today. I'm going to go ahead and show you what we're going to be doing tomorrow. Winter dry season, brand new festival playlist, the 3rd one of this Japanese automotive series. I spoke about the reward car. I guess that was not for this, but the next one. My mind's already on the next one. We also get that cool Arctic Trucks Toyota. The weekly challenge car is going to be the 2002 Spirit R, swan song of the RX-7. Daily, shop, trial, 2 event labs. You see how it is. We're going to be here tomorrow with it, doing what we always do, showcasing the brand new festival playlist to you guys and giving you tips and tricks on how to do it. So if you want to, please subscribe if you're not already to the channel. That way you can stay up to date with everything I do here every day on Forza Horizon 5, but also because I don't want you guys to miss anything. Like I said, thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow for the brand new festival playlist in the next one. Later.